So now I'm turning on my presentation, right? Or okay.
Yes.
So yeah, right. At first, I would like to thank you for the EdTech book, also the Superstructure Ventures, and all the audiences being here today to give me a chance to talk about the topic. I am Robin Nguyen. Yeah, I'm founder and CEO at IBI Global. At first, we started the English Language Center for Children, and we learned a lot about customer insight, what the student insight, and what their strengths and weaknesses. And 2 years later, we launched IBI Global eLearning platform in 2013. And you know that what at that time is it was right the right timing for us, because when we went out and asked people, do you think that education technology or e-learning is very effective, or even it can relate classroom training or not? Most of people don't believe that. And now it's with the pandemic, it's a lot of things is very different right now. And we at that time, our team found that the biggest challenging for e-learning is learner engagement. And that's why we have the IBI e-learning platform with the concept that replacing classroom training, especially for language training or business skill. Yeah, and that's why we have IBI Global today. Yeah. Now can I turn on my presentation, or you will turn it on for? Okay. So my topic today is EdTech and local understanding. Because as you know, IBI Global is work with a lot of corporation and company, and we know that local understanding is a really important thing that can help companies or corporation to really grow in the global economy. And this is the agenda for today. I will talk about the challenges in international workplaces, why local understanding, and how can EdTech advance local and cultural understanding, global e-learning methodology to enhance understandings and collaboration for international business. Yeah. Challenges in international workplaces.
Robin, just wanted to let you know that your screen sharing isn't working.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay. Again.
Perfect. There we go.
All right. Yeah. Challenges in international workplace is so many things, but I would like to share with you some key things that we have faced with when we have trained our different corporation. The first thing is communication issues. It is happened in a lot of international companies right now. We remember that before, when we trained Nestle, for their engineers. And you know that engineers in Vietnam, it's not only in Vietnam, but I think in most of countries in Southeast Asia and Asia, they are very good at technical things, but English and communication is a big problem. So that's why at that time, we came to Nestle factory, and we screen on the processes, and we work with the engineering, and we found that the key thing is a lot of engineering can read technical works, but how to communicate with the foreigners or really understand the instruction of the new machine or even they work with different department is really big problems. So that's why at that time we conducted the training, and we found that it's very effective. So communication issue is just something that not only the language but also the culture differences is the big thing for international workplaces right now. Um, for example, like in Vietnam, we still like this. People, manager from Hanoi in the north of Vietnam, still hiring a lot of employee or staff from Hanoi from the north because they thought that with that culture they can work together very well. And the same thing with the manager in the middle. They also hire a lot of staff in the middle too. The same thing with people in Bangkok. They don't like people in Chiang Mai, or even people in Hangzhou. They're not going very well with people in Shanghai. Culture differences is not only in international workplace, but also inside a country, a nation is also happen a lot, and that's when that's happened. We have political issue, or office politics always happen in that. Um, for example, like in Vietnam right now, we have a lot of expats come here to work, but we still not have an international culture like Singapore or some other countries because it's still developing. And and we know that how uh, a foreigner or a foreign experts can bring their expertise into the operation in Vietnam is a big thing also, because normally the managers, Vietnamese manager, will take over the operation or sales because they understand the customer inside, understand the local culture, and how the expats can bring the expertise to change the processing, or to work with the local manager is also the very big things right now. I don't think it's only in Vietnam, but in Thailand or China, it's also the same problems. Yeah. And we have the third one is the flexibility. When we go to flexibility, it means that because we live in different culture, so we make decisions based on our own experiences or background. That thing happens when everyone have our own bias, and this bias will address our our decision making and work with other people. And the fourth thing is implementing diversity. Implementing diversity is not easy at all. We have been through for many years, and globalization is already happened for many years, but we still see that the inequality between men and women in international workplace or in the career path, or or culture differences, and something like that is still happening a lot in our world. Why local understanding? Yeah, we all know that local understanding is very important for international workplace, and also for companies or startup who want to go global. The first thing is to live harmoniously in multicultural community. Like I just shared with you that now expat is growing, and they play a very important part in our growing economy, because with expat we can bring different thinking and ideas and expertise and culture into our corporation or company. But how to live harmoniously is that every companies or corporation or startup needs a very good strategy for that. For example, we here we have I have a friend from Italy, and she came here try to understand the processing or the operation of the manufacturing, and she put a lot of new ideas and all that. And later on, she found that it's very difficult to really convince the local managers or clients, and that is also the problem for international workplace, to thrive in dynamic or marked by constant innovations. Right now, if we talk about uh, the labor market, I think it's very important, because now most of company right now try to reach global or to go international. And it's very good if a Japanese person, if we have a Japanese salesman to really work with a Japanese customer or clients. Based on our, it depends on our customer base, that how much diverse this company is. But to manage and to roll, we need different people from different cultures. And with that customer base, we need different, we need a diverse team to really grow in the market. And this is very good for the labor market and really help company grow, because the research show that company with the best practice in diversity is already grow revenue for 24-25% more than all the companies. So the diver team are the key to success in many jobs and many companies too. And the last thing is we talk about the sustainable development, because right now we have climate change, you know, a lot of global issue, pandemic, and all that. We need a local act, and the local act really under the global strategy. And for that, with local understanding, we can really help the new generation employees to improve community responsibility and also understanding, and also backed by cooperation. The activity of cooperation is really helps the society, also the economic growth in the sustainable way. Yeah, diversity, the engine of invention, it generates creativity and enriches out the world. Yeah, I have my own story about the innovation when we have diversity. When we created IBI, you know, we work with academic people from different culture, like the US or UK, because, you know, we have 100% native speaker training. And at that time, when we try to create the IBI learning platform, our IT guy also, you know, zero knowledge about e-learning or how to create a platform. At that time, we were very struggling with that. And because I was the team leader, how to connect the technology team, no, without any English. And I work with the academic team to build up content and also the pedagogy and everything. But backed by the IT team, Vietnamese IT engineers, they are very good at the curiosity, and they try their best to make it happen, even if something is very new. And you know, when we talk with our IT guy, and then they say that, okay, after 3 months, they may have the very draft version. But after 3 months, when I get back to ask them, they say, no, they cannot do anything. And it's were very, how can I say that? I was very disappointed. And after that, we worked together very, very closely in every step of how to build up the platform and everything. And and link and from my old concept that we need a platform can replace classroom training based on the blended e-learning model. And from that, we work with the academic team because we have Vietnamese, very good Vietnamese IT guys, and we work with people from UK, academic team from UK and the US. And we can find that, all the ideas, all things can happen if we can connect everything together in a diverse team. Yeah. So I really think that diversity, the engine of innovation and invention. Yeah. So how can EdTech advance local and cultural understanding? Yeah. That's one of our key advantage of our platform is we believe that with culture diversity training and education, we can help clients or corporation or startup can advance local understanding and also innovation. With traditional education, it 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 takes a company need a training manager to go around with his or her expertise and train people. But with EdTech right now, we have collaboration platform, and we have, if we can connect with the experts from different culture and background, and from that we can bring the training to a corporation or a startup, and people learn from the real experts from different background and culture. And we believe that it's really help business and employee broaden their understanding of local realities. Yeah, and EdTech really can help that because like for many years ago when we set up the platform, at that time most of the platform is MOOC or even like just cell-based learning. And after that we see a collaboration platform through Skype or live classroom training, or some company they just do like cell-based or just app, like they just supplement for a subject. The thing is we need a proper pedagogy or the method behind that. That's what we are lacking right now for EdTech. Because EdTech is not only technology. EdTech is more about education. And EdTech is more about people and learners inside. Student demanding is very different. And the second thing is what they demand is not only cell-based or not only supplementary. They want something bigger. And that's why we find that if EdTech can have right now we have enough with AI, we have with personalized, we have with the different technology already. So if we can put a broader methodology behind that, and then we can ensure that EdTech can help a lot for people to connect, to understand, and roll together. Proper e-learning methodology can really enhance understanding and collaboration Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of stories about our clients. For example, before we train English for Syngenta, Syngenta has a lot of salesmen or sales supervisor in spreading out in all over the country. But the thing is that all the salesmen is not very good in communicating English, in reporting in English, because their boss are Indian. And how to help they communicate perfectly and can make report and everything. That's and with flexible times also space, because they always going out and then never go to the company, and they live in different provinces. And at that time we conduct a training, communication training, for all salesmen of Syngenta in all over the nation. And the good thing is that the engagement is very high, because before when the company conducted the training for the salesmen, at first they have 25 students in one class, but at the end of the course it's only 2 students. But we still keep at the end of the course people, the salesman and supervisor and manager also keep 80% of engagement. And we believe that only EdTech can do that. Traditional education cannot do that, especially for professionals in international workplace. The 4 dimensions of local understanding that can be supported by the blended e-learning methodology. Why we talk about blended e-learning? Because we know that cell-based learning only or live classroom only is not really health. It's still lack of something. The blended e-learning is the combination between cell-based learning and live classroom training. But the methodology behind that is the flipped learning. A student, if they learn something, they learn a lesson before they go live with their teachers and peers, is really more effective than they just only learn by themselves or go live with the teacher passively. So that methodology that right now we can do it in the classroom, but we move up into the online one, and it's really effective also. For example, we have English training. A student can learn like vocabulary, reading, listening, pronunciation by themselves 24/7 with our cell-based learning. But they have knowledge already, but because this is language, so they don't know how to use this. And they will go live with the teachers and peers to really use the knowledge what they already have in the cell-based learning. Also for our innovation courses, the same thing. Students will cell-based learning the lesson, for example, lesson 1. And after that, they go live with the teacher with all the knowledge they already have. And when they go to see the instructor and peers, what they do is problem solving, sharing ideas, solving the real problem. It's not listening to the teacher passively. In that way, we can see the efficiency and the effectiveness of e-learning, of the blended e-learning methodology, or we can say that flipped e-learning methodology. Because we believe that learning language is not easy. Also, learning a skill, a soft skill or an innovation skill is really take time and also need time to observe and apply and get back. It needs a very long process to make it happen, right? So with this methodology, we can ensure to help learners to gain knowledge about other culture, especially with the platform that we can connect experts from different culture. For example, a student from Vietnam can learn with an expert from Singapore or Israel, or a student from Singapore can also work with an expert from the US. In that way, people can be enhanced in innovation because they see different things in their learning in different experts. They talk with real experts with different knowledge and culture, and from that way they can build up their culture understanding, their knowledge enhancement, and also their product ideas will be happen. So, and their soft skills is also very changing because we believe that when we talk with a foreigner or an expert from different culture, we tend to listen and we tend to observe. And during those courses, a learner can observe it slowly, and and later on they can build the product for international, for global. It's not just very single-minded that they had before. Right? And this also can help learner develop adaptability and openness for sure, because when they learn with different experts, different people from different culture, they will be more open and recognize and appreciate diversity. With those dimensions of local understanding, uh, we can see that education for the future need to really take it into consideration. It's not only EdTech, but education for K to 12, but EdTech is is a bridge building for local understanding in the efficiency, in the efficient and effective way. And 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 with that, I believe that EdTech really can be the bridge for global competence or local understanding with the right e-learning methodology. Yeah, thanks a lot for your listening, and I hope that you can have some questions, and then or even you have any ideas or opinions we can share, and I am very happy about that.
Thank you so much, Robin. It was super interesting, and it's so true. And even we've had calls with companies talking about their struggles going abroad, and it's partly because it's so different on the ground, and you just need to have a local understanding. And it's really great that you've managed to create something to help people in that way. So let's see, we've gotten some questions already. For the people in the audience, if you want to ask more questions, you still have time. There should be a button somewhere for you to submit them. But if you wanted to speak, you could raise your hand and I will allow you to speak later. So we have a message from Mukahit, who says, hello, Robin. I have had great experience in Vung Tau province teaching kids English as an instructor for a year. And I believe your observations in the field will empower the meta level progressions and solutions you will provide for the future of EdTech. Best wishes from Turkey. So that wasn't really a question, but it was very nice.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So we have a question. I guess you kind of answered this, but if you wanted to say something else, what advice would you give to companies trying to go to Vietnam and to Southeast Asia?
Yeah. Actually, Vietnam and Southeast Asia have a very different culture. I don't know if you're from like Europe. If you're from Asia, it's easier to understand the Vietnamese culture. But if you're really from Europe or America, is really a little bit difficult because for Vietnamese culture, we are still uh, people are still a little bit traditional. People from Ho Chi Minh City like us is more open, but the corporate structure is still higher. That's a level of hierarchy is still high. Still, community making decision. So that's why getting business in Vietnam or even in China or Japan is or Korea is a little bit similar, that you need a lot of time and relationship building, and 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 in that way is it is a little bit struggling for the new business to get into Vietnam or Asian culture in general. Uh, and Vietnam markets right now is very, very competitive because if you see the economy in Vietnam is the level of openness is very high. So, one a lot of people doing business and very, very competitive. And I believe that it's happened in other country too. Right now in the globalization, the competition is very harsh for a new business in general. Understand culture and adapt to the culture. I think that it takes a little bit of time, but it's not a big thing. The big thing is still competition.
So we have another question related to this, and it would be, what is the biggest mistake that corporates do when they go to Vietnam?
Actually, a corporate, when they go to Vietnam, most of them, if they are corporate already, they did a lot of research and all that. So that is a very good way to enter the new market. And a lot of things like, they acquire some business and they learn, but the difficulty is how to bring the culture diversity into the new company in Vietnam is the thing, because most of company they bring their they I mean the global structure or the global expertise into Vietnam, and they really take time to match with the local culture and also local managers and understand the clients. Understand clients we can do through research and everything, but actually get into the reality, because if a company from Europe is, your thinking and your mindset is a little bit different. So that's why it takes a little bit time to match with the local culture.
So we have a question about the startup ecosystem in Vietnam. Do you know a lot of companies in the area?
Yeah. We have the startup ecosystem is already I mean, for the past 2-3 years, the government really support in Vietnam. We have many Vietnamese accelerators already came up, and the ecosystem is there. Um, we have a lot of events for startups, and even the ecosystem is not done yet, but it's still a lot of activity and to have it happen. For EdTech in Vietnam is something very niche, very special. I don't, but not only in Vietnam, in other country, EdTech is very special. It's not, I mean, it's not easy, and it's need the real, I mean, the real founder for education. It's not, it's not it's not business education for business, but it's need real educator to do it. So there are a lot of tech in Vietnam and goes up and downs, and you know people comes up with some trendy like Skype or like Classroom, but actually really invested and understand the market, also the size of the market, also the learner inside is still the lacking of education technology in Vietnam. But I don't think only in Vietnam, but for many countries, we are now still struggling of remodeling education education technology. Uh, we still are working out on that.
I guess kind of going off of that, what do you how are people consuming e-learning in Vietnam? Are they using phones? Is it computers? How are people engaging with this new technology that is now such a big part of our lives?
Yeah, yeah. Right. So actually, for young people over here, most of them, you know, they know basic technology, and with the technology right now, it's not difficult for them to get into a platform or something. Uh, yeah, but for K-12 is different. K-12 is not many students can have a laptop or phone or something like that. It's still a big gap over there. It's only but for adults or corporate market, we don't have any difficulty about you know technology devices. But the thing is, before like 5 years ago, that we can have customers like you know very quick and very easy, but right now the competition is more people a lot of technology education technology, but more about technology. That means they supply for in for the company like building internal training and all that. Before a company is very they build by themselves. Big company they build by themselves, but they fail. But now there are suppliers in Vietnam and also in international camp, and the market becomes very competitive. Yeah.
Um, so we have a question from Katie who says, since our company in Vietnam is having relevant issues of diversity and communication across all teams, how long do you think it is necessary that EdTech could resolve this issue? So they have a platform, but it seems that there's a lack of student engagement, like you said.
Mm. Actually, cross function or cross cultural communication is still happen a lot in international company. Um, but the thing is, how education is The first thing, if we look to our clients, this means the company or corporation need to have a very clear strategy about culture diversity and culture diversity training or communication training or some soft skill to deliver culture diversity. That the first thing that the client or the company need to have the strategy first. For the supplier, like education provider, EdTech provider, we need to have the right solution for the right company. But our platform need to be ready for corporation. Corporation, what do they need? They don't only the content, not enough. Live classroom training, so many right now with Zoom, with Google Classroom, everything. They need the solution. The third one is ROI. Your platform can help them track the ROI, or your platform can enhance the student learning result. Just for example, we have some company they learn with other company platform, and because of the engagement, half of student after 2 months they pay the course, right? So education technology is just like a school operation offline, but we bring online. We not only need content, we not only need the tracking, we not only the system, but also customer service. Customer services. We also need the proper methodology. We also need teachers relationship, student and teacher relationship. All that, when we combine together, we can make it happen. But the second thing is the market, the sales. We have very good product already, but how to sell it or how to build a solution for you for your client is another big thing also, because in the very competitive market. So I think it's still a long way for many EdTech companies right now. And your question is about how long we can bridge the gap for the diversity in one company. We cannot say anything in advance, because it is the coordination between the company or the HR department, the strategy of the company with the EdTech provider. And how much problem does the company have inside? So it should be long or it should be short. It depends.
So we have another question about challenges when it comes to employing EdTech in this way. So Mukahid asks, how would you consider the future of orientation processes for newcomers to an international company by using the EdTech instruments?
Can you repeat?
Yeah. So for new employees for the orientation of new employees at companies, at international companies, how would these instruments, EdTech instruments, be applied for that?
Oh.
So sort of longer term, So you've trained your employees. I think that's what this question is asking. You've trained your employees. You have new people joining in. How do you keep this going?
Yeah. For the new employee training is a strategy. It's a strategy. But right now, I can see many corporations, they have internal e-learning. That means they have a very, they have some short courses or orientation online. But the big thing is it's not engaged, because they think, because they build by themselves, and it's not professional enough for employee to really engage with their small courses they put online, and they, a lot of things. I can see that the internal e-learning it doesn't work very well. I can see that for many companies, just like digital transformation, many companies fail. ERP, e-learning is very the same thing. Uh, so your question is about how we train it. Is really a long strategy and process it. How to train the new employee, how and the pathway for that employee to go up. Um, Otherwise, after 1 year, 2 years, they will, they will be saturated, and they find the new job. This is happen everywhere. So that's a very long strategy for a company to build it. You need to train the new employees. You need to understand their pathway, their potential, and keep the training to the key person for the new position. That's a very big thing for HR. The training for a company right now, most of company right now, they do a lot of coaching inside, but hiring an EdTech company or a provider from outside is a very good tool, because you bring new ideas and new technology, and also the new concept to building up your team, and make the team more open. So I just can answer like this, but currently it really depends on the HR or people or personnel development of every company.
Thank you so much. And I think with that, the only question that we have left is about the EdTech book presentation at the beginning. And whoever submitted this, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Karen Wasserstein. You can find me otherwise through Supercharger, and I can send you the materials. And I think this is perfect timing to thank you again so much for your presentation. I think we all learned a lot, and it's been a very different topic this time, but equally important and actually fundamental to success in a new market. So I think it will give us all something to think about when making business decisions in the future. So yeah, on behalf of everyone, thank you so much again.
All right. Thanks a lot, Karen. And again, thanks for the EdTech book and the Supertrack Venture and all the audience to be here today. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.